All right, everybody, it's your boy Genius out here at the range on this hot, musty North Carolina summer day. And before I get started with what I'm sure will be a super controversial video that will get me a lot of hate in the comment section, let me share the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ with you. I won't do it right here on this two-way platform, but if you reach out to me at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com or even in the comment section and allow me to share the best news you will ever hear, make sure that you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get any better as long as you're right here in this flesh, okay? But Christ died on the cross, shed his blood to cover that sin so that the Father can accept you, okay? And you can have eternal life, not associated with death whatsoever. Live in heaven with your Creator forever and ever and ever without pain in a glorified body. You can have that. You can know that, okay? Allow me to share the full gospel of Jesus Christ with you. Again, reach out to me and allow me to do that. It'll be the most important decision you will ever make. Don't make the mistake of being that guy that regrets it for eternity because it was a fairy tale to you. Either way, my worst gun brand. So folks that have watched me for any length of time probably already know what that's going to be. Okay, those of you that are tuning in for the first time, let me say right now what most probably already know, that brand is Smith & Wesson. Okay, but for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, let me say that I'm not a Smith & Wesson hater. I just literally visited their facility. They didn't let me go on site, but I went up there and visited their facility in Maryville, Tennessee. I bought a Volunteer XV that I haven't got to shoot yet, okay? I'm not a Smith hater, not at all. And also, I have a Bodyguard 2.0 that has been fabulous for me. I carry it around in my cargo shorts on these hot summer days. Okay, I have a FPC sitting in the corner of my room, suppressed and ready to go with all 3 magazines loaded up. And I have often said, in my experience anyway, it is the best PCC under $700-800. As you most know, my favorite is my Grand Power Strybog, but that is about a $1,200-1,300 PCC. And I've been reviewing a Daniel Defense recently. I don't know where that's going to land in, you know, my good, better, best kind of situation. But either way, the FPC sitting in the corner of my room. Okay, I'm not a Smith hater, but this has been my experience. What you're going to get on this channel is truth. I don't care how many people I offend. I put up a video saying in the last 4 or 5 years, Kimber has been better than Smith & Wesson. That has been my factual experience, okay? It has been 4 months since I have lost a subscriber. I put that video up. I lost 3 subscribers in a matter of about 30 minutes because that's how petty 2A people are. Crybabies and petty, okay? Because they'll support a brand, whether that be Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, Ford, Toyota, whatever brand they support. And even if they get one that is bad, they'll never say as much. Why? Because they bought it. They spent their money on it. Their pride will get in the way. They've always told people how great it was. That's not me. I'm not that person. If I buy a piece of junk, I'm going to call it a piece of junk. And I don't care if it's my favorite brand or not. That would be true if I ever got my hands on a bad CZ. You'll find out. You'll know that that is true, okay? I'm not that guy, and I don't know why people are, but they're so petty about it, right? But my experience has been, I buy one Smith, it's great. Like, say, maybe the FPC, get the next Smith that I buy, goes back for warranty 2 or 3 times, or I have to be sent parts 2 or 3 times. Then I buy another one, it's okay. Next one, piece of crap. Next one, piece of crap. And that has just been my experience with Smith & Wesson. It just has been, okay? I don't care how many people love their Shields, their Shield Plus, their Shield Plus Carry Comp, pointless gun, by the way. I don't care how many people love those guns. I don't care how many people claim to have excellent experiences with them because that is their experience. I don't watch those channels, okay? I don't watch those reviews. I don't read about other people's reviews because why come here and watch this channel if all you're looking for is what you've seen everywhere else? Everybody else has said good things. Everybody else has said nothing but great things. It's tickled your ears and made you feel good. You got your nice confirmation bias for your purchase. Okay, great. Why come here? And are you just looking for the same thing? What are you trying to do? Find out how many videos you can watch to justify your purchase or to back up your theory about something? Okay, if your experience has been fantastic with those firearms, great. I would never discredit that. I'm talking about my experience, okay? The Shield Plus Carry Comp, by the way, again, like I said, a pointless gun. I don't know why they didn't comp it the size that it was. They just added on to the end of it a little bit, making it awkward, weighted weird. Just it doesn't carry well, and the rear sight broke in half and flew off of mine on camera. Okay, that was on camera. And then my response, the Smith & Wesson response that I had, the screws that held the handguard in place just completely walked out while I was shooting it. I just got home and realized they were missing. Okay, and then I found out it had to be sent back for some safety concern, some kind of issue with that. And it is obvious that that was a QC thing. Okay, and then I had my M&P 2.0. All of these, by the way, which have horrible triggers. I mean, even the trigger in the FPC is horrible, but it shoots good and it's accurate, and so I'll kind of give it a pass. Okay. Never mind the horrible Taurus-like triggers. I mean, in a lot of ways, a Taurus, a $250 Taurus has a better trigger than the Smiths do, okay? The M&P 2.0 Carry Comp, just randomly the slide would lock back. I mean, a lot of you guys don't know this because I didn't put the reviews up. I didn't even put them up because I didn't want to hear everybody's mouth about it. You know, I just talked about it at the end of the year. This was my worst pistol, okay? But just randomly would lock back. Apparently something to do with the trigger bar would be hitting the slide lock on the right side of the gun and locking the slide back. And then on my Smith & Wesson Spec Series V, I think that's where I really got bitter, okay? The gun has been flawless. It's worked. It's functionally, it's been fine. It's accurate. It's fun to shoot. It feels pretty doggone good in the hand. And it shot well suppressed. Functionally, it has been fine, okay? But it's a $1,500 pistol. And it wasn't just mine. I have went into my local FFLs and I've picked those guns up on different shelves in different stores, and all of them have that awful, just gut-wrenching, just those machine marks in the frame, okay? Where it looks like somebody just raked something down the frame of the gun. And some are worse than others, okay? I'd say mine falls somewhere in comparison to some of the ones I've seen that were decent, and then some that were way worse than mine. Mine falls somewhere in the middle, but they sending them out like that. I mean, if I can see that in the store with low lighting and a naked eye, surely somebody at Smith should have seen that, but they just don't care. They sending them out that way, okay? The stupid plastic on the back of the grip, okay, and the stupid plastic on the front of the grip. They couldn't bring metal all the way down and take the time to checker that, okay, so that it was all one piece. And that front strap, okay, that moves around, slide the magazine out and hold it up in the light, and you can read the morning newspaper through the gap that is between that plastic piece and the frame of the gun, okay? And mine moves around. I put a little bit of silicone adhesive on there. It worked for a while. It finally worked its way loose. And everyone's excuse and simple solution for the problem is to take a thin piece of cardboard or paper. Not a big deal, not a big deal. Take a thin piece of cardboard and paper and slide in behind it, the front strap, and snap it back in place, and it won't move at all. Does that work? Yeah, it works. I just had to slide a piece of notebook paper behind the front strap of my $1,500 pistol so it doesn't move around. Insane to me, absolutely insane. The machining on that gun, my version of it, and again, or my sample, if you will, and also ones that I've went and seen at other stores. So I don't care about everybody that comes on here and says, I got one and it's great, I love it. Ain't got no machining problems. Okay, you might have gotten lucky. maybe they were going to make one for the owner or something, and decided to do it a little bit better. I don't know why yours is great, but I wouldn't discredit that either. I'm glad you got a good one. Mine's not, okay? Functionally, it's fine. But that back strap, okay? Again, just, it looks okay. It's not a bad look, but again, it just seems cheap to me. It's a $1,500 pistol. You know, there's plenty of pistols with metal frames that has metal all the way down. And the way this thing pops in there is just insane to me, okay? And the machining on the gun, just absolutely horrible, okay? And the comp that they put on there, even though I've torqued it to specs and everything, it started to get to where it's wanting to walk off on me, even with Loctite on it, okay? Just stupid little QC things like that, that are just absolutely insane to me for a $1,500 pistol. Okay, we're not talking about a cheap pistol here, all right? And that's just been my experience with Smith & Wesson. It just has been. And until somebody decides to call them out, I can tell you channels, I won't do it because I don't want to call nobody out, but I can tell you channels that I know for an absolute fact get free guns from Smith & Wesson. I know they do regularly. And they've never had a single bad review of Smith & Wesson. And if you look on their channel, the majority of the guns they've reviewed, I would say percentage-wise, probably 10, 15% more Smiths than anything else. But they've never had one negative thing to say about it. All the Smiths they've had have been fantastic, okay? I don't know if I'm buying it, is what I'm trying to say, okay? I just don't know if I'm buying it, okay? But again, this is my experience. I bought these pistols. Smith doesn't send me anything. They've never sent me anything except for some warranty parts I requested, but they've never sent me guns. I went out, I bought this, so I have that righteous anger about my experience with Smith & Wesson. And the amount of warranty claims that I have requested, you know, or had to send back is so large with Smith & Wesson over the past 4 or 5 years that I had to create a file in my email, and I also have a file in my fireproof document safe. And then I get pictures from employees at local FFLs and stuff where they receive a Smith & Wesson gun and the sight on the front is turned around backwards with a white dot pointing down range. Just insane stuff like that. The QC problems are off the charts. And listen, they say, oh, they made a move. Big deal. It's been long enough, okay? You should have already had that figured out by now. A sight, dude, all the people that my bodyguard's been great, but all the people that had a Smith & Wesson bodyguard with it shooting left, the sight drifted to the left or whatever, really? We're talking about a sight here. I mean, how long have you been putting sights on guns? We're not talking about some new extravagant gun that you've never made before that you're putting out here. You still got the same basic gun that you've always had, and you can't get a sight right. I'm not buying that stuff. I'm not buying that. What I do buy is that they are playing on the fact that they used to be. They're a has-been, as my grandpa used to say. They used to have a great reputation. They used to be solid options, okay? And they're playing on the people that are sold out to them, that are fanboys, and they know that they'll accept it and just move on, and so they just keep on and not getting any better. They need to do better. Kimber is a company that used to be unreliable in my experience, but in the last 4 pistols I've had from them have been completely 100% reliable. And so if you turn things around, great. I wish Smith would turn things around, and I'll continue to buy their products and say everything nice about them if they perform and get better. So in the last 4 or 5 years, the worst gun brand that I have had experience with by a whole lot is Smith & Wesson. Sorry that I broke hearts, but that is the facts. Thanks so much for watching. Unsubscribe if you want to, because I know there will be those that do that. But if not, if you want to hear the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the truth about your next firearm purchase, hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Consider supporting us on Patreon, $5, $10 a month. Check out our website at gsquaredtactical.com. And as always, to God only be the glory.